Hey guys, this is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Chris's YouTube channel. Ah, yes!
Hey everyone, this is Chris, and I'm here to unbox something I'm sure all of you know. I just got this in the mail a few days ago because, it takes time to ship to the Philippines. I'm not just gonna unbox this because if you're looking for an in-depth unboxing, there are loads of other videos out there. What I wanted to do was just talk to you and remember the legacy of Jason David Frank and just remember what he meant to me as a person. So yeah, I'll just be telling stories while unboxing this. Here is the Master Morpher, one of the last things that Jason David Frank helped produce for Hasbro because he recorded a lot of new phrases for this, which I'm very much excited to hear because I haven't heard it yet. First off, this is I think my very first Power Rangers Lightning Collection Morpher. I've been doing this for such a long time that I decided to not, buy all of the merchandise that comes out. So I remember I had a ton of Morphers already, so I didn't want to just keep on buying and buying. But for this one, obviously, I wanted to make an exception because it's a special Morpher. And this is also the first time I'm gonna have a Morpher that has a display, so that will be cool. So we have the display. Yep. Where you place the Morpher if you want to holster it on your belt. Very similar to the past style. The coins and the Morpher. So I haven't touched Lightning Collection Morpher yet. So the only Morphers that I've owned were the Bandai ones. It's a lot lighter. It feels like it's also a bit thicker. Yeah, it's a bit thicker. When I do fan films and I use Morphers, I kind of remember the thickness of it, and this is a bit thicker. Very cool. Now the coins. Zeo, Turbo, White, Falcon, Green, and Dino Thunder. So while I unscrew this, I just want to maybe tell the story of how I actually met Jason David Frank for the first time. To be honest, I was very afraid to meet Jason David Frank. They say never meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. So I was kind of afraid that he wouldn't be nice to me or he would be rude. So I met him for the first time in New York at a smaller Comic-Con back in 2016. I went there with my wife. I was wearing a One Punch Man costume. And when I met him, was such a cool guy. He was so nice to his fans. I was watching him with all his fans. He really took time for each. And yeah, he took time to talk to me and my wife. We got a picture. He even got me some free stuff. So that was my first ever interaction with him. The second time I met Jason David Frank was when he went to the Philippines to film like an indie movie that unfortunately never panned out. But yeah, he went to the Philippines to shoot some scenes. And obviously, if he's coming to the Philippines, I had to see him. I had to meet him, So I remembered DMing him because at that point, we were already kind of seeing each other's posts because after I met him for the first time, I tagged him and then he saw it. He reposted it. So I was kind of on his radar already. When he was flying to the Philippines, I messaged him and then yeah, he was so kind and gracious. He invited me to the set. And that's where we shot some videos where I interviewed him. So that was the very first time we interacted that it wasn't all me as a fan and him as me idolizing him. It was kind of a start of I guess a friendship, if you'd call it. Yeah. So that was the start of it. So we now have the batteries on. So there's nothing in it yet. Let's go with the very first one. It notices the green. So
Green Ranger power now! Dragon Sword! 1993, it's morphin' time!
wow, that's so cool.
Don't worry, this is a good good kind of green.
Dude, I've never heard these phrases ever.
Sometimes the original is the best.
Man, that's so cool.
Dragon Sword power now! It's morphin' time!
So obviously there are so many videos out there that showcase the sounds, but just because I knew I was gonna get one, I didn't want to really listen to the sounds. So this is really the first time I'm ever hearing this. It's really, really cool. So, White Ranger.
White Ranger, Tiger power! Now, I just need Saba and the gang's back together. Chocolate smoothies from Ernie's Juice Bar. You know what I'm talking about.
It's so funny because I feel like I'm listening to Jason and not Tommy, if that makes sense. Because this is his quirk. This is his style of comedy, and it's really, really, really nice to hear his voice.
It's a Tiger style. All right, Saba, let's do it. Ooh, Tiger style. Tiger power. Uyasa!
It's amazing. It's amazing. So the third time I got to see him in person was Power Morphicon 2018, I believe. That was the time that he had a booth in Power Morphicon. And the last time I saw him was in the Philippines, so it's been a while. But when we saw each other and we had the same camera, we had this little thing where we were videoing each other with our cameras, and it was like no time has passed. That was the first time I stayed with him for majority of his signing during that day. At first, I was just, being respectful and just filming outside. But he actually asked me if I wanted to come in his booth so that I could get better footage. And yeah, that was so cool. That was so cool of him. And he even got my camera to film stuff for me. We just had such a good time. I stayed with him until the end, the last fan standing. Yeah, that was a great day. It was amazing seeing him. So let's go with the Falcon.
White Ranger, Falcon Zord. Power up. Let's do it, guys. Ninja Ranger power. Falcon Zord now. Ancient powers of the ninjas gonna take you down.
Go to Zeo. One of my favorite seasons. And one of my favorite episodes ever when Tommy and Tanya couldn't stop singing.
Zeo Ranger 5, red. Time to show you how it's done. Smorphin' time. Crystal powered Morpher. Zeo 5, activate.
That was cool. I should say that next time.
Zeo Ranger 5, now. You're in for a surprise. It's time for the original to show you how it's done.
Next, let's go to Turbo. So I'm not really into cars. So I didn't really watch Turbo. But I have the suit, obviously, because it's Jason's.
Ready? Let's do it. Shift to the turbo. Can't slow down the Turbo Red Ranger. Red Lightning. Turbo power now. All right, guys. Shift to the turbo. Nothing's gonna slow me down.
And last, again, one of my favorite seasons, Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder. Black Ranger. Dr. O, coming in. Brachial power now. All right, knuckleheads. Power up. Brachial power coming in. It's a Tommy Oliver, PhD.
That was a treat to hear. It's also, melancholy and sad because, he's not here anymore. So the last time I saw Jason was at the recent Power Morphicon. That was the time where he was promoting Legend of the White Dragon, and he was sporting this really cool look, like a mohawk, and all his tats were showing. And it's been a minute since we actually talked. I just went up to him on his table. His eyes lit up. He recognized me. The best memory I'll ever have with Jason. I wanted to stay with him until the last fan standing again. The convention was closing already. I think it was about to close around, I don't know, let's just say 7 o'clock. So it was 7 already. And the only ones allowed to stay were the Power Morphicon staff and the guys in line to get Jason's autograph. So I was asked by one of the staff, he's just following the rules. He asked me to leave because, I wasn't really there to line up for Jason. I was just taking footage. I thought it was sad because I thought I was gonna stay with him until the end. And then I told Jason that. I said, "Hey, I'm leaving. Can we take a picture first before I leave?" And he said, "Yes, for sure." And then he asked me, "Why are you leaving?" And then I said, "Because someone was asking every non-essential person to vacate the premises, following the rules," which is okay. But then he made it a point that the staff heard that, "Hey, Chris is part of the team. He will stay with me until the end and he should be allowed to stay." And I was blown away. I was freaking blown away. Yeah, I'm getting a bit emotional just thinking about it because his kindness to me specifically was, I felt it. I really felt it. And I stayed with him until the end, and I edited the video in a few days. I uploaded it, and then he messaged me saying he was so grateful that I made that video for him. That was the last time I saw him. When I found out, so many people started to DM me. I thought it was a really terrible joke. Got random messages from people. I'm like, who the F is spreading this thing? And then some of the actors were posting RIP posts. I'm like, no way. I actually messaged Jason, but then every press outlet started to post it, and I was just in denial. That was a really, really shitty day. But I guess what we should really just continue to think about is what he meant to all of us, his legacy, the positivity that he brought into the fandom. That's what I'll remember. That's what hopefully everyone will remember. So I'm really glad I got this Master Morpher. Pre-ordered it on Hasbro Pulse. I actually missed the first pre-order. Thank God that they opened it up for a second one. And just hearing his voice again made me happy and sad at the same time. But it was really, really nice that he got to do this for the fans. Amazing. More phenomenal. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this semi-unboxing, just remembering Jason David Frank, what he meant to me personally, and just my stories of my friendship with Jason. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. See ya.